This is verse 12 of the first chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Matthew continues to pursue the genealogy. It's got some little riddles in it, and we come across another one as we approach this verse. We are now picking up after the deportation, which Matthew mentioned. So meta, preposition, when it's with the accusative is here, it means after. So postpositive da, but after tain, the accusative singular feminine article with the feminine noun here, metoikesion, combining meta, which can mean with or after, and oike is from the word that means a house or dwelling place. So the noun taken together is a dwelling place, but the meta suggests a kind of a transfer, so it is usually rendered a deportation. That's what's being referred to, of course, in the Old Testament, the exile that took place under the Babylonians. So after the deportation, and then what deportation was it? Well, the genitive here of Babulonos, which is Babylon, so it's in the genitive, so the deportation of Babylon. And then continuing, Yekonios. Again, we notice that this name could be one of a couple of different characters, but I think the better theory is that this is the one known as Jehoiachin in the Old Testament, who was actually hauled off into captivity, kept in prison for some time, but then toward the end of his life, you may recall, he was released. This is under a Babylonian king named Evil Merodach. It just happens to be an anomaly of language that the name evil is used there. It doesn't mean he was particularly more evil than anyone else. But Jehoiachin was actually released from prison. It argues that that's the person in mind, because that, of course, suggested that the kingly line was continuing to be intact, and sort of a providential recognition of that takes place in connection with the fact that he's reinstated toward the end of his life. So he then is the one who is said to agenesen, to give birth to, or to be the father of, or to beget. Ton salathiel. In the Old Testament, this is the character that's usually translated the name Shealtiel, who is indeed a descendant, maybe not a direct descendant of Jehoiachin. That remains a bit of a debated point, but one way or another he is in the line. And then we have Salathiel, Shealtiel, de akenesen, ton Zorobabel. This is Zerubbabel, who is, of course, mentioned in connection with the return back to Jerusalem after the 70 years. So he is a descendant of this line. Interestingly, this is where we find that there is a correlation between the genealogy provided here and the other genealogy found over in Luke, suggesting that maybe the genealogies, at least in part, reunite at this point. But one way or another, we have this Zerubbabel, who of course is fairly well known in the Old Testament, was the leader of those original Jewish people who were restored to the land under Cyrus when Babylon fell to Cyrus the Persian. That would have been about the year 537 or so BC. And so that's about the point where we are now in the ongoing genealogy.